or no revocation. Please confirm.
I can confirm that, Mr. Speaker.
And in compliance to that order, did you serve it upon the governor and the county secretary?
Yes, they were duly served, Mr. Speaker.
You were duly served.
Yeah.
How do you confirm to this honorable house that you did duly serve upon the governor and the county secretary the particular court order?
Through a notice of service.
You served?
Yes.
Upon service, what happened? Was the same respected? Was the same court order obeyed?
The court orders were disobeyed?
Yes.
Mr. Speaker.
Please explain to the court how the same order were disobeyed.
Mr. Speaker.
Explain to the Senate, sorry.
Mr. Speaker, upon the court issuing orders,
yes,
there was a meeting convened at a place called Mitungo by the governor.
Yes.
In which the first gentleman in that meeting threatened to organize people to flush us out of office in case we went with that court order to report back to office, Mr. Speaker.
So who threatened the against disobedience of court order?
The first gentleman is the one who threatened to mobilize people to come and evict us.
Was the governor present in that particular meeting?
The governor was exactly present in that meeting, Mr. Speaker.
Do you have any evidence to that particular meeting you are making reference to?
The evidence is in a video form, Mr. Speaker.
In a video form. Honorable Speaker, the video, if, with your leave, maybe we can have the video played, the video in support of contempt of court be played to the court, to the Senate.
Mr. Speaker, that's the video in support of count 5.
Yes.
Hata koti ikisema urundi kwa ile ofisi, mtoiti sisi tunashikana na hawa maasra tunakutoa pale. Sasa mtoiti wewe ndio tunafurusha. Hata koti ikisema urundi kwa ile ofisi, mtoiti sisi tunashikana na hawa maasra tunakutoa pale. Mtoiti hautakaribia ile ofisi, na pia Mberia aambiwa kwamba hii ofisi ya Meru hata ikaribia.
In that video, did you hear the first gentleman mention the petitioners?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, he has mentioned Beria and my colleague Toiti.
And you would also wish that evidence of a video be part of your examination in chief?
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Did you report back to the office?
Yes,
in compliance with the court order?
In compliance with the court order, Mr. Speaker, we reported back to office.
Yes.
And indeed, Mr. Speaker, the threat was actualized and we were chased out of office ruthlessly.
What do you mean by being chased out of the office ruthlessly?
There were people organized who evicted us from offices, Mr. Speaker.
So you are physically evicted from the office?
We are physically evicted from the office and the precincts of the offices.
The second limp of the court order talked of the governor revoking the appointment of those appointed in your capacity. Did those appointments, were those appointments revoked?
The appointments of those who were acting in place, Mr. Speaker, were never revoked at all.
They were never revoked at all. That's your statement.
Yes, Mr.
That is to mean that they are still acting as CEOs in your establishments?
Up to now, those directors have not been revoked, Mr. Speaker.
Are those CEOs still in office, in your respective offices?
Mr. Speaker, because they were acting in their inacting capacity,
yes.
Upon us obtaining contempt of court orders, we have been able to get back to office, and some of them have been reappointed back again under different capacity.
What happened after the court order was, you have jumped the gun, what happened after the court order was disobeyed, when you were evicted from the office? What happened? What action did you take?
Mr. Speaker, we made an effort and we applied for contempt of court orders
you applied for contempt of court orders.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Has the court pronounced itself on the contempt of court?
The court did pronounce itself on contempt of court.
Yes.
And convicted the governor and the county secretary and another of contempt of court.
Yes. So, sorry, the last bit,
They were cited, the governor was cited for contempt of court, Mr. Speaker.
The governor was cited for contempt of court. Do you have that particular order or a ruling to that effect, citing the governor for contempt of court?
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Where can it be established for quick reference?
From page 418, Mr. Speaker.
We start
418
with
of volume 2.
We start with the ruling. Where is the ruling found? Pages?
The ruling is on page 418.
Page 418 to pages. Of which volume? Of
Volume 2.
Of volume 2. Pages 418 to pages?
Pages, the ruling is found on page 418 to page 439.
Page 439. And the order, and the particular order citing governor for contempt is established, is found on pages?
It's found on page 440.
Pages 440.
And 441.
Of which, again, on which volume?
Volume 2.
On volume 2. According to those two court documents, was the governor found guilty of a court order?
Yes, he did. The governor was found guilty for contempt of court.
Was she punished accordingly?
The court scheduled a date for punishment.
Yes.
And the county secretary appeared in court to show cause why they should not be punished.
The county secretary, on behalf, appeared to demonstrate why they should not be punished. Did she appear?
He did appear, Mr. Speaker.
After appearing, what happened?
After appearing, a date was, the governor was ordered to reinstate us back to office under supervision of the county secretary, Mr. Speaker.
That is to mean, sorry, would you recall when the county secretary was instructed to take you back to the office? Would you recall?
I would recall, Mr. Speaker.
That is when?
That is on 23rd of last month. That is
23rd of September.
23rd of September.
That is barely 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, Mr. Speaker.
What happened to the punishment in respect to contempt of court? Was it administered at that time?
The court has rescheduled the punishment to today so that the county secretary can go back and prove whether they really honored.
It is your evidence that the court punishment was scheduled for today?
The punishment is scheduled for
which
today.
You may not tell what happened.
Which I may not tell the outcome, Mr. Speaker.
In all this saga, were your respective boards notified of the proceeding of what is happening? Your respective boards, you said the management of the board, the corporation are through the boards. Were they notified of what has been happening?
They weren't, Mr. Speaker.
Sorry?
They weren't.
They were not. Your letter of setting on compulsory leave talks of reason being to reorganize the board.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Have you ever, for the last 1 year, been called upon for reorganization of the board as a CEO?
Mr. Speaker, no.
Sorry?
No.
You have never been called upon?
Yes.
Does the governor have power over reorganization of matters in respect to your independent corporations?
The semi-autonomous government agencies like our corporations are supposed to be reorganized by the boards.
By the board. Now, for the entire period of 1 year that you've been away, until only 14 days ago when you resumed your office as the CEO, were you getting your salaries?
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Salaries? Sorry?
Yes, I was earning my salaries while at home.
You were earning your salaries while at home?
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Did the court order provide that you be paid your salaries? Did it address the question of you being paid your salaries while away for a whole year?
No, Mr. Speaker.
What stated that you'll be paid your salaries for the entire period that you'll be away?
The compulsory leave letter, which came from the office of the governor, is the one that indicated we shall be entitled to full pay and all benefits while we are home in indefinite
Therefore, the
leave.
compulsory leave stated that you'll be paid your full salary while you are at home.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
And were you actually paid your full salary while at home?
Indeed, we were paid
For the entire period?
for the entire period.
Do you have evidence to the effect that you continued being paid salaries while you are not working?
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Where are the copies for ease of reference again? Where are they being established? Found in this
Volume 2, page 35
volume 2, pages 35
to page,
to pages number.
let me correct it, please, Mr. Speaker. Volume 2, page 33 to pages 33, beginning from page 33 to page 41.
To pages 41.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
And to this 1 year after, to this extent today, have you ever known the reason as to why you were sent on compulsory leave by the governor and the county secretary?
It has never been communicated to any one of us the reason for compulsory leave, Mr.
None
Speaker.
of you has ever known why you were sent on compulsory leave.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
And you said that only 14 days ago, the governor complied with the court order and reinstated you back to your office alongside the acting CEOs. That was your evidence.
It is true.
What, in your opinion, why do you think the governor was able to comply with a court order a year after the initial order was granted?
Mr. Speaker, the governor may have complied basically because she had been found to be in contempt of court and her punishment was about to happen. And the next thing,
therefore, it's your evidence that she was fearing the looming punishment by the court?
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
The next thing was?
The next thing was there was an impeding motion of impeachment a day to the day we were escorted back to office. And it was a ground.
Now, according to you, again, your opinion, who do you think is to blame for you being illegally sent on compulsory leave?
I would lay the blame on the governor herself.
Why do you say so? What is the foundation of your opinion?
Because the letters from the county secretary must have been, the county secretary indicated there were instructions from the governor.
Indicated that those who is acting on the instructions of the governor?
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Has the governor to date revoked the appointment of the persons meant to replace you?
No, Mr. Speaker.
Are they in the office?
They handed over, and then they were given other mandate again, Mr. Speaker. But their letters which appointed them to that office have not been revoked.
Their